Good morning, friends. I want to tell you a story about something that recently happened to me and how the Lord used it and taught me things in my life. This past Sunday, I was getting ready for church and my daughter called me. And she is an adult, she's out on her own, and she lives up in the Midwest. And she was traveling an hour from one place to another, and she was pulled off on the side of the road, and she called and she said, Mom, I can't even see. I can't even see the cars in front of me. And she was on the interstate, and she said there are cars all over the place in the ditches, and it was single digits outside. It was very, very cold, and she was pulled off on an exit. And ironically, my husband was up in that area. He was visiting his mom for her 90th birthday. So he was within an hour's distance of where my daughter was. And so I said, well, maybe dad can come get you. Can you call dad and maybe he can either come get you or help you get there? And she said, no, I can't call dad because the interstate's going to close down. They keep saying on the radio that the interstate's going to close down. So the interstate was going to close down in less than a half hour. She was stranded along the side of the interstate. It was obviously very dangerous conditions, and she was needed to press forward. She needed to keep going because the interstate was going to close. There were a couple of other things that were going on at that time. She needed to be at work the next day, and she was not on an exit there, that there was a hotel. We talked about all different kinds of things and possibilities of what she could do, but really when it came down to it, she just needed to press on. She needed to keep driving if she could to get home to be able to go to work before the interstate closed down. So we talked about just going slow and carefully driving and all that. But as a mom, you can imagine just how challenging that was for me because there was just no way to help her. I couldn't send someone to help her. I couldn't give her advice. I couldn't come up with a creative plan. We talked about all kinds of options, and there was just no way to help her. And so we talked a few minutes, and she just said, "Mom, I really think I just need to go forward. I think I can get home." And I said, "Okay, text me when you get home." And she said, "Well, don't panic. It could be longer than you expect. I'm just going to go really slow and just pray for me." And I got off the phone, and it was a situation where I was obviously not comfortable with these conditions and my daughter being on the road, and just how challenging this was. But boy, the Lord just really gave me a peace about it, and I just knew there was absolutely nothing I could do in that situation, that I just needed to trust God and to pray and leave her in the Lord's hands. And I was very, very peaceful. I went to church that morning, and I was just very peaceful. I just knew whatever the Lord had. It says, oh, I can't think of that verse. Hold on, let me think just a minute. Oh, I can't come up with it. It says, who can speak and have it happen if the Lord has not decreed it? Is it not from the hand of the Most High that both calamity and good things come? And if the Lord decreed for her to get home, she would get home. But if the Lord decreed something else to happen along the way, then that was within the Lord's will. And so it was just a tremendous example and experience for me just to have to really lay everything before the Lord and to just really trust that whatever He decided, that not my will, but His will be done. Well, she made it home. She texted and said, I made it home. But I've thought a lot about that since that happened. And I've just thought how, when my back was against the wall, I really did have to completely trust God. There wasn't anything I could do. And I did experience that peace of just trusting God and His will would be done, and that I would just not know until till I got a phone call whether she made it home or not. And I thought about, wow, I just really want to continue to practice that level of completely trusting God. I want to trust God with things, not just when my back's against the wall and I don't have any creative ideas or any solutions or any words to say, but I want to have that same experience in my daily life with the things that I still feel like maybe I can control or maybe I can make a difference in. I want to just practice that, really laying things before God and just waiting on His will and waiting for Him to determine how things work out in situations that are hard for me. So there's another verse, just one last verse I want to share. That last one was in Lamentations, that one that said, "Who can speak and have it happen?" That's in Lamentations 3. Another one that I really like is in Psalm 121, and it says, "I will lift my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth." And just practicing that too, just lifting my eyes up toward the Lord and praying and really laying things before Him, just to almost experience that same joy and that same peace that I experienced when I could do nothing to help my daughter except just wait and let the Lord determine what would happen. So I hope that that is challenging and inspiring today, and you have a good day, and I'll see you next time.